the Super Bowl. To the Super Bowl. I feel like black and gold. Going back to the Super Bowl. I feel like black and gold. Going back to the Super Bowl. To the Super Bowl. I feel like black and gold. Going back to the Super Bowl. I feel like black and gold. Going back to the Super Bowl. I feel like black and gold. Going back to the Super Bowl. I feel like black.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. There's all dog around this mug. I'm good.
Sir, what's going on? Who that nation? It is yours truly, TJAY Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Shouts out to everybody in the chat right now. Happy Thursday to you. We are as live can be on this Thursday. Hope everybody is safe. Hope everybody is happy. Hope everybody is joyous. Because we're about to talk about some Saints football, and I think I'm about to make some people upset. Not intentional, but y'all know how it go. But shouts out to everybody in the chat right now. Shouts out to you at home, at work, at the gym. I mean, wherever you're doing right now, I'm appreciative that you're stopping by, because we have a good show lined up for you. We're going to be talking about everybody's favorite topic when it comes to the Saints, the offensive line. We're going to be talking about the offensive line and answering the question, is the Saints offensive line good enough? Are you happy or excited or content with what they have going into week one? If the season was to start Sunday, would you be okay with this offensive line? We're going to talk a little bit about what Coach Dennis Allen said in his press conference in regards to that. But I do want to give a special shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Shouts out to 99 Dog, Thad, Truth, Buckle, Cameron, Vito in the house. We got Roderick in here, Canadian Music, Tim, Linda, Timer, Brian. Thank you all so much. All right. And as you file in, I really do appreciate you as well. And for those that can't check out the show live, I understand, man. It's the middle of the day. It's 11 o'clock in some places, especially Central Standard Time. It's noon here, Eastern. I know everybody probably ain't on a lunch break. Probably can't get a chance to check out your boy live, but still want to give you a shout out. Shouts out to them after show boys.
Shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out to them after show boys. Shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out, shouts out to them after show boys. They be tweet and be post, they be tweet and be post, they be tweet. Yeah, them after show boys. They be tweet and be post, they be tweet and be post, they be tweet. Yeah, them after show boys. They be tweet and be post. Hey. Shouts out to all the after show boys, after show girls out there. And also, man, want to give a special shout out to all the new individuals that have been checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you all so much. We're a very interactive podcast. You don't have to worry about money and all that kind of stuff there. We're appreciative if you do donate. Don't get me wrong. But all you have to do to be a part of this show is put them comments in the chat.
Hey, what's going on? It's TJAY Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and we're about to do what it do, baby. You probably have something to say about the black and gold that's burning hard in your soul. Take those fingers, give them the working. Put them comments in the chat.
Put those comments, put them in the chat.
All you got to do is go ahead and put them things in the chat.
I want to hear what you got to say.
I want to hear from you.
Talk to me and not so bad.
Oh, you ain't got to worry about it. All you got to do is talk to me. I talk back to you now.
Put those comments, put them in the chat.
All you gotta do is put them comments in the chat.
I wanna hear what you gotta say.
I wanna hear from you.
Talk to me and I'll talk back.
Talk to me. I guarantee you, I'm gonna talk right back to you.
All you have to do is put those comments in the chat. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk a little Saints football. Let's talk a little bit about this offensive line. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm about to set this up for y'all. So I just picked up my son Paxton from school. We riding. I'm happy. I'm excited. He had a really good day at school. He all excited walking about it. Daddy, I had a good day. I'm like, man, good job, buddy. Man, let's go home, man. Matter of fact, let's stop somewhere and get you a special treat for being so good at school today. So I'm riding. And as I ride, I always check out like the YouTube press conference of the New Orleans Saints, probably like a lot of you, right? So I'm riding, listening to Dennis Allen. And then I don't know if it was Mike Triplett or someone else asked him a question about the offensive line. And I'll be honest with you, Who Dat Nation, if I wasn't on a highway, I probably would have pulled over because I could not believe what I just heard when Dennis Allen said this.
Well, I would disagree with that in terms of, yeah, I think there's part of it with the offensive line and trying to create some cohesiveness with a group. And yet there's got to be some competition. And I also think this. I think that I'm looking for, okay, I want to see one of these other guys step up and tell me that they need to be the guy. And so, this isn't, we don't run a charity organization where we just give things away. I mean, guys have to go out and earn it, and you start somewhere, right? And then, like, I'm looking for, okay, where are the signs, that say, Coach, you need to put me in here. And where we're at today, I still feel like we've got the right 5 guys out there, but we're going to continue to evaluate it.
This man said that he waiting for somebody to step up. He also said that he feels the right 5 guys are out there. I'm going to let that sit for a second before I get into this. This man said that he feels like they got the right 5 guys out there, and he's waiting for someone to step up to take a player like Trevor Penning's spot. Can y'all believe this, man? Like, can you believe this? Bruh, I said this on social media, and I'm going to say it for the folks that don't really be on social media like that. I'm going to say it again. If Trevor Penning is your best case scenario, that is terrifying. Honestly, that is absolutely terrifying if you're a Saints fan. I do not understand why they are trying to force this issue. It is painstakingly obvious that Trevor Penning is not the right decision. He is not the right decision. And you're saying that you're looking for somebody to overtake Trevor Penning? Let that sit in, Who Dat Nation. There isn't another offensive lineman that can play right tackle that can overtake Trevor Penning right now. And we know that Trevor Penning ain't it. Bro, I could not believe what I heard when he said this. This is my biggest issue. The Saints, they're going out here bringing in Justin Simmons. They up in here trying to do all these things defensively, bringing all of these guys in to try to make sure that their defense is stacked. And you're not taking one look at your offense. You basically bringing in, and no disrespect to these players, you're bringing in couch cushion offensive players that aren't going to demand a whole bunch of money, but yet you're going to bring in Justin Simmons, who you already know what he is asking for. You know what his asking price is, and it damn sure ain't the same asking price of Shaq Davis and equal media as St. Brown. You're basically toying around with this offense as if Derek Carr is Drew Brees. It's not like Drew Brees, when Drew Brees was here, he can make anybody look good. You need playmakers around this dude in order for him to thrive. Why are the New Orleans Saints playing around with this offense? Why are they playing with the emotions of the Who Dat Nation? We know that this offensive line leaves a lot to be desired. We know that this offensive line, as of today, is the weak link of the team. Why is he sitting up here trying to think about competition within this? What you need to do is try to bring in some veterans. You first off, let me just go ahead and erase this right now. Unless the Saints are about to make a blockbuster trade, calling up one of these teams with a great offensive lineman at right tackle that is going to come to this organization, this is not an easy fix. It's not as simple as let's just take Trevor Penny out and put Ali Udo right there. Because if Ali Udo was all that in a Hot Wheel track, guess what? He wouldn't be with the New Orleans Saints as of today. I feel like the big solution will happen in 2025 if the Saints do what they're supposed to do, which is draft a right tackle, because we all know more than likely Ryan Ramczyk will not be available, and I'm praying for that brother. But the reality is you're not going to fix this situation. And sitting around hoping like this is a Disney movie or something, like a guy, the light just going to automatically come on and he's just going to be stellar. And then we're going to see the captions after this game. Trevor Penny went on to become the greatest right tackle of all time. Stop living on Disney. This is a reality, man. Like, this dude is not that good. I'm not saying that he's not salvageable, but what you're asking him to do at this particular point, at this particular time, and you also have to take this into consideration. There is this small little thing. More than likely, your job is on the line. So the same energy that I'm using to bring in Justin Simmons, to bring in all these other defensive players to make my defense look stout, I would be using that same energy, bringing in players on the offensive line and on the offensive side of football that can actually change something. Why are we wasting everybody's time here? I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. And another thing that he said in that press conference that kind of stood out was he says, we're not running a charity organization. I question that when I'm seeing Trevor Penny get chance after chance after chance. This dude ain't it, bro. This dude ain't it. Like, come on, man. Let's stop the cap here. I get it. You trying to build up this dude confidence. He probably is the best that you have to offer, so you don't want to mess and waver his confidence. But the reality is, if Trevor Penny goes out there week 1 against the Carolina Panthers, they are going to be on high barbecue chicken alert. I'm talking Trevor Penny being on high barbecue chicken alert. This dude is like, this is all that is going to happen. Every single game, they are going to put the best pass rush on each team. They're going to put it over there on Trevor Penny's side, and they are going to make sure that they eat all game long. This isn't an easy fix. I don't know why they just don't want to address this situation. I just don't know why they want to sit up here and act like this doesn't exist. I understand that this guy was a first-round pick. I understand that no team wants to admit that they made a mistake. I also understand, and when you're in a managerial role, a coaching role, you don't want people to see you sweat. But come on, man. Don't pee in the air and tell me it's raining. It's pretty obvious that this guy has a lot to be desired. And if this offensive line goes out there week 1 and you're expecting things to be different, even though you change your offensive philosophies, you are sadly mistaken. And I fail to believe that this is the best that you can do. Once again, if Trevor Penny is the best or one of the best of the offensive linemen that you have to offer, the Saints are in big trouble, because I'm telling you, if something was to happen to Trevor Penny, can you imagine the person that comes in behind him, what they would do? So, I mean, and I'm not feeling bad about saying this, because this is what he's telling me. He's saying he's looking for somebody to grab the bull by the horn, so to speak. He's asking someone to step up, right? So if nobody stepped up to the level of Trevor Penny, that's backing up, that's a second string. Nobody has stepped up to that level of a Lucas Patrick. My guys, my ladies, that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. All right, let me read some of your comments, and then we'll go ahead and go from there. I want to give a special shout out to those that donated. Mr. Barnes says, who that baby? Blessings and peace. Thank you for being here, Mr. Barnes. Lloyd says, the line is trash, starting at left guard, suspect right guard, playing out of position, and a right tackle is done for. The season will go up in flames because they lack talent. Alfred, thank you very much for 199, says, when you trade Laddie for a star right tackle, I'll be honest with you. They got to do something. They got to do something, man. Whatever they like, if they're talking about being a contender, if they're talking about winning the division, like, they're gonna have to fix this offensive line. And unfortunately, it might come in a way that may not make Saints fans happy. But you got to do what you got to do at this point. Like, you're not gonna win. You're not winning a jack. You ain't winning nothing. Like, it's just that simple, man. This offensive line is not what it is. But TJ, I blame Loomis also. Look, I look at it this way. The arrogance of this team and the way that they were structured for years, like, it is becoming the downfall of this football team. This is a football team historically has not been very good. I'm just being honest. Historically hasn't been good. Over the last 15 or 20 years, they found prosperity, more prosperity than they have ever found in their entire franchise existence, and they're afraid to move on from that. They exhausted every little bit of that as they possibly can. And they tried to recycle the cans by bringing in Dennis Allen and keeping that coaching staff around, and they realized that didn't work. They were trying to do everything that they can to try to keep this thing going. This is a team right now that they just feel like because we won over the last 15 or 20 years, we know what we're doing. But in reality, I'm wondering to myself, like, were y'all really that good? Or did y'all just have that winning lottery ticket in the form of Sean Payton and Drew Brees, and it basically just covered up the stench and the incompetence of what's going on in the front office? I'm just wondering, man, because you sit up here and you make all these crazy decisions. You have this passive-aggressive approach. Then you get mad at the members of the media. You get mad at individuals like myself that question some of the things that you do. You say that we don't know what we're talking about. You say that we ain't there. You say that we understand what we need. And you keep on making these same mistakes over and over and over again. Like, you're wasting everybody's time. Like, every offensive lineman on this line, has had to change the position in which they were drafted, right? So when they were drafted, right, when they were in college, when they were in college, they were playing a completely different position than what they're playing now. Cesar Ruiz was a center. He's playing guard. Eric McCoy was a guard. He's playing center. Talese Fuaga was a right tackle. He's playing left tackle. Trevor Penny is a right tackle, and he played left tackle in college. And I want to say Lucas Patrick was a center. Now he's playing guard. So you basically are trying to make, like, you're making things more difficult than what they have to be. If a guy was a natural left tackle in college, make him a left tackle. If you're a natural guard in college, make him a guard. Like, how hard is that? But of course, we see some momentum. We see the footwork. We see the talent. We know they can do it. So this guy is already coming into the league, already with his back against the wall, already a little bit of a learning curve going on because he's doing something that he probably never done or he haven't done in a very long time, probably since his high school days. I get sometimes you want to do that, But it seems like every time, like you draft this offensive lineman, that guy never plays his natural position he did in college. And you expect for these guys to come out here and become all pro, all world players? Like, come on, man. Come on. Like, man, give me a break. But I'm telling you right now, it is going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly if this offensive line can't get together. Do they have eyes that see not? Yoti, what about Carr with the Vikings? Look, man, I want to let y'all look. I'm glad somebody brought that up. I'm glad somebody brought that up. I want y'all to listen to me very, very clear. All right. I want y'all to listen to me very, very clear. All right. Every white man with a casual dress shirt and a blazer is not an insider. Every middle-aged white man with a casual shirt and a blazer on in his profile is not a true insider. What you all are getting is had, bamboozled, hoodwink, led astray, run amok. That was not a real story, okay? I don't know how that story gets out, but honestly, it just tells you the power, you know what I'm saying? It just shows you that type of power. You put a middle-aged white man with a casual shirt in a profile and start saying stuff, and all of a sudden people are like, man, TJ, is this true? Nick, is this true? Like, come on, man. When are we going to start questioning like people's credibility? When are we going to start like doing research? When are we going to start like looking and try to find these folk out before we actually like start putting these things out there? First off, Derek Carr cannot get traded because Derek Carr has a no trade clause, right? So in order for the Vikings to make a trade with the Saints, Derek Carr would have to agree to said trade in order for him to go to the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know if Derek Carr, a year into being the starting quarterback of the Saints, moving his family from Las Vegas to Louisiana, would he like to make that move once again? All right. So I don't see that happening. And the story just ain't true, man. No credible source came out there with that story. What you have is a guy, and if you look at his Twitter page, and I know what you're talking about, if you look at his Twitter page, it basically just shows you that this guy just put stuff out there as a clout chase. This was the same guy, if I'm not mistaken, said that Steve Smith got knocked out at a UFC event and Steve Smith on TV. So no. What is my response to that? My response once again is every middle-aged white man with a casual shirt and blazer in his profile is not a true insider. All right. I'm just gonna keep that a buck right there. And you know, and honestly, it's just amazing to me. That is all it takes to look credible in society, which is, you know, pretty sad. But no, my friend, I'm not talking about you, and I'm not trying to play you. I'm just saying that's my response. That was one of those situations where it was a guy that was basically created a clickbait account because I want to say, yeah, man, he was just responding back to it like, look who responded back to it. Look who shared my stuff. Like, you got to be a pretty sad individual in life, like that. You would create things just so people can actually gravitate towards you. Like, just create like fantasy stories in order for people to try to gravitate towards you. Like, I don't know. Like, it's pretty sad out here that we do things for attention like that. Let's see. I already read that one. Says Falcon just got Matthew Judon, so DA should not take the right tackle position so likely. Yeah, man. I mean, look, they know that this offensive line, especially at the right tackle position, is straight up applesauce, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, our kids, they just playing the applesauce. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't really be eating it. You know, they just playing. That's what they feel about this team right now. So they feel like, oh, man, y'all going to put Trevor Penny over there? Man, let's go get this pass rush. Like, you're seeing Trevor Penny get knocked down by second, third string guys on the depth chart. Like, what you think Matthew Judon, a guy a few years ago had 14 and a half sacks, going to do to him? But y'all up here saying that Trevor Penning is the best that y'all have, right? Y'all waiting for somebody to take the reins and challenge Trevor Penning. Boy, man, that's like saying I'm looking for somebody to get in this ring and knock out Glass Joe. I want you to knock out Glass Joe, man. Somebody come up in here and knock out Glass Joe. And for those that don't know who Glass Joe is, man, ask your mama, ask your daddy, ask your grandma, ask your grandpa, ask your great uncle, ask them who Glass Joe is. Some of y'all with me, some of y'all not. All right, ask them who Glass Joe is. If DA really believes this and goes into the season with this, he might as well pack his bags now. I don't know. I was shocked. I was shocked. I was flabbergasted at the fact that he would actually say that. I would like when you think that he learned his lesson from some of the things that he's done and some of the things that he said and some of the practices he's done at the podium, you would think that he wouldn't go to the podium after what he's seen. Like if we're around here looking at video footage of your left tackle who you converted to right tackle, getting pushed on the ground, getting bull rushed back into the pocket, and basically just being out on an island all by himself, like the first big swim move, always getting beat, you would think that if they start asking you questions about the offensive line, you would say stuff like, I don't know, like we still evaluating it right now. We're taking it one day at a time, but we definitely want to get that together. We're working on a nucleus, working on chemistry. Whatever guys that are available and whatever guys I see that step up, those are the guys that I'm going to select. But saying, I really feel that these are the best available. If you really feel if you really feel they're the best available, man, then, bruh, like you said, you need to pack it up because eventually what's going to happen is inevitable. He's being very interested in them. Man, I feel like the backups are better than Trevor, but the politics of a first-round pick keeping him on the team probably is. And that's the mistake that a lot of organizations make because the ownership up top, of course, they're the ones that's fitting the bill. They want to see those individuals out there, right? Because they've invested all this money. Nobody wants to see a first-round pick that is getting so many millions of dollars sitting on the bench and can't start. But, hey, let me tell you something. You can put that guy out there if you want to, and you won't have a quarterback by week 3. I predicted that before, and I'll do it again. If Trevor Penning is the offensive lineman, the right tackle of the New Orleans Saints, week 1, I guarantee you by week 5, Derek Carr is going to be feeling it. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. That dude, go back and watch that dude tape. I'm not even talking about the 3 plays, bro. I'm not even talking about the 3 plays that he was out there and getting bull rushed. Go and watch that dude. Man, I'm telling you, that it's not going to be pretty, Who Dat Nation. It's just not. Unless this guy wakes up in the morning and basically becomes Ryan Ramczyk. Like, you got to do something about this. Simmons signing with the Falcons, according to a good source. Not Phil official yet, but Chris Harris reposted it. Well, look, if he signed with the Falcons, it is what it is, man. I mean, you just got to do what you got to do. But it's also very telling. It's also very telling to me because what you have is 2 organizations right now and really done nothing in a while, right? And if he was to sign with them, and you got to take this into consideration as well. I want to say the Falcons only have like $4 million in cap space right now, and the Saints have 14. So you do the math. So it basically just comes down to choice. And I don't know if he's gonna sign with him or not. I mean, I seen somebody like I shot out my guy Berto. He put they had like an Instagram photo of Justin Simmons, and he had on red and black suit outfit or something like that, and he had 2 clocks on there, like the clock is ticking, and people like insinuated like, y'all on the clock, is up to y'all or whatever. But we'll see. Multiple misses at first round in the draft have caught up with us, along with DA as the head coach. The rest of the league don't take us serious. Yeah, I mean, it's bad, man. It's bad, like the how people look at the New Orleans Saints. I'm privileged to be able to talk to some very well-respected sports media people. And I'm telling you, man, when we talk Saint football, they always tell me the same thing. And it's been at least 3 of them. They said the Saints ain't gonna win nothing until Dennis Allen ain't the coach. I heard this so many times, folks. I'm telling you, like, it's just joking around and asking what you think we're gonna do this season, what you think this gonna happen, and all that. And I'll be like, man, I think they're gonna win a few games. And they're like, man, the Saints ain't gonna win nothing with Dennis Allen. That's how they feel. That's how they feel. TJ, you making too much sense, man. All I'm saying is this guy's been in the league just going into his 3rd season, and some of the same things that are happening with Trevor Penning they've been happening since his rookie season. Like, I don't know how you can fix this. I went back last episode. No, I went back last episode and I heard myself like saying that phrase, and I was like, man. I'm gonna put this thing into perspective for y'all. I went back and I watched that episode, and I was like, man, I think I was a little rough on Penny, man. Let me see. And I went back and watched the game again. I strictly looked at him. Like, I strictly looked at him. Now, there was some plays I gotta say, he held up his man, but for the most part, the way that dude was getting beat, it was like a baby bird learning how to fly for the first time, like all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like he was confused. It wasn't sure of himself. I don't know how you can change that. I don't. I'm not here to just beat up on a guy. I'm telling you, I went back after I felt like I was a little bit too harsh with my take on this dude. And I went back, and I got to say, folks, I stand 10 toes down, and I need you to stand next to me so I can be 20 toes down when I say that this dude is not it. He ain't it. I don't know eventually will he become it, but he ain't it right now. He ain't it, man. Man, anybody that believes that, week 1 gonna happen and then all of a sudden he just gonna become all world, man, you playing yourself. Ross Jackson already debunked that car to the Viking story. That ain't happening. Yeah, I mean, he has a no trade clause. He has a no trade clause, meaning that any team that the Saints agree to a trade with, Derek Carr has to sign off on. I mean, so unless he willingly, openly decides that he wants to go to the Vikings, that's the only way he can go. Which to me is another like indictment on this organization. Like, you give no trade clauses to guys that you just feel like, oh man, like this is like a Brady signing, to like a Brady going to the Bucks. This is like, Joe Montana going to the Chiefs. Like, that's something like that. Like a guy who has done something, been somewhere, won something, championship winner. Even with Russell Wilson, he had a no trade clause, if I'm not mistaken, in Denver. Damn, even he's been to 2 Super Bowls. Y'all treating this dude like he one of them dudes. So yeah, but he can't go anywhere unless he signs off on it. I believe the Saints are going to win the NFC South this year and make it to the Superdome with my Baltimore Ravens in New Orleans. I'm gonna be honest with you. With Trevor Penning, man, you lucky you make it to Canal Street with that, boy. Yeah, cause you might make it to Canal Street, you might make it to Rampart, Legion Fields, but you damn sure ain't making it to the Super Bowl with no Trevor Penning as your right tackle. Because that boy is
chicken alert, barbecue chicken alert.
Barbecue chicken alert. You ain't winning nothing with that, bro. You ain't winning nothing with that. You do better just going out there with 4. I don't understand how Trevor got his starting position back after his injury. He was getting pulled around then. It's because I can't remember who said it might have been Cameron. Cameron said in the chat, he says because he's a first round pick. It's just that simple. When you're a first round pick, you get more and more opportunities than those other guys because the team has invested in you, right? They invested in you for at least 4 years, right? And that's when they pick up that 5th-year option, which if you got to be out your freaking mind if you pick up this dude 5th-year option. Like, you got to be out your mind. Like, seriously. A lot of these first-round picks get opportunities time after time. They get picked up by other teams because they have that first round, moniker. So it's like, let's give him a chance. He was a first round pick. Let's see what we can do with him. But that's the reason why he getting all these opportunities. Hey, TJ, this is what I think. 6-11 this year. Here's why. First, we have a big O-line issue. Second, we have a mediocre quarterback who likes to sit. Third, our defense will be so banged up and wore out from 3 and outs. I think the Saints can win some football games this season because I don't think a team is just going to blow them out. Like, I don't think they're going to get the doors blew off. But I do feel that it's going to be a matter of time before the chickens come home to roost. Like, it's going to become so obvious, so painstakingly obvious that this team needs to change. Like, they ain't gonna be able to try to finesse it like they do at these press conferences. You ain't gonna be able to finesse it. Like, you ain't about to sit. Like, this is I want them to understand this. Saints organization, I want you to understand this. This is your last year that Saints fans are just going to be okay with y'all just doing whatever. Because I feel like, and I still feel this way. When Mickey Loomis came to that press conference chewing that gum, to me, that was almost some Mount Olympus type ish. And what I mean by that is, like, he up here, y'all down here, we got all the answers. I ain't got to sit up here and be talking to y'all, but, I'm just going to sit here and give y'all a little something. That's the kind, like, y'all went 9-8. Y'all missed the playoff for the 3rd straight year. And then you sitting up here like y'all got all the answers. And the media is asking you really credible questions that should be asked to someone who has missed the playoffs 3 straight seasons. And you're acting as if, y'all won a Super Bowl last week or something. Or you're reverting back to the time when you had Drew. Well, guess what? Drew Brees ain't walking through that door. He walked through the door to go to practice, but after that, he went home and played pickleball or something. He ain't about to strap on the number 9 no more, put on the helmets. You know what I'm saying? Put on a helmet, put on the shoulder pads. He ain't about to do that no more. So, like, talking about what y'all did back in 2009 and 2006, who cares? Who cares? Like, that's ancient history. And you're still living off that. I think that was an amazing time. I love Drew Brees, greatest quarterback, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, bruh, come on, man, give me a freaking break. Those days are long gone. And that's the problem with this organization. They feel like just because they got that one Super Bowl back in 2009 when they were completely inept leading up to that Super Bowl, now they feel like everybody should just be quiet with anything that they put on the field or any decision that they make, bruh. Nah, man. It ain't working like that. This organization needs to be held accountable for some of these decisions. And you can't get mad when you make boneheaded decisions or decisions that are questionable, and then people come out here and they write articles about it or they ask you questions about it. Like, you can't get mad at that. Like, people want to be able to go to the game and feel like they're about to watch a team that is going to be competitive. We know that they're not going to win every game. I mean, it's the National Football League. Even the worst team can beat the best team on any given Sunday. But damn, when we going through the same situations and we seeing y'all coming up in here trying to get these high-profile defensive players, when honestly you just basically stockpiling your defense. What you need to be doing is changing around this offense. Outside of Olave, outside of Shaheed, who else do you have as a wide receiver that you honestly believe that can step up if one of those gentlemen go down? Hell, say at least both of them just so happen to miss some time. What are you going to do then? You mess around here playing around with Equimediate, St. Brown, and Samson Nakua. No disrespect to them dudes. I'm pretty sure they can play. But come on, man. Like, their brothers are the ones that's great, right? You know what I'm saying? What you think they like? It's almost like, You ever had that sample of that cologne? You know what I'm saying? That come in that magazine, you rub it on your neck. You know what I'm saying? You think like, okay, I just rub that on my neck. I'm gonna be smelling just as good as I spray it on there. Yeah, for about a minute, but it ain't gonna last that long. Right? It ain't gonna last as long as you actually getting a real bottle. So you think what? Is it because they last name St. Brown and Nakua? Like they supposed to possess the same skills and they supposed to have 1,500 yards like Puka Nakua? Samson's supposed to do that. Equal Midi is supposed to have 10 touchdowns like his brother Amon-Ra. Come on, man. Then we out here getting, no disrespect once again, Shaq Davis, and individuals that just happy to be here. No real dogs out there. They got some dogs in them, but I'm talking about some dudes that been around the league. I'm talking about some guys that know what to do. I'm talking about some guys, man, look, sign on the dotted line. I know what I have to offer, man. You should be happy to have me on this squad. Watch what I do. Not some guys that feel like I just got the golden ticket because I sung a few vocals to open up American Idol. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, you need dogs on your offense. You need offensive linemen that can be able to block for your running backs. I don't care if you had Eric Dickerson, Adrian Peterson, and Barry Sanders in your backfield. Guess what? If you don't have no offensive line, nobody will know how great any of those individuals are. And it don't get no better than some of the three that I just named. Like, come on, man. Like we up here like digging in the crates, looking under the couch cushion for offensive weaponry, but we bringing in Justin Simmons, one of the best safeties in the National Football League over the last decade. Barry, your priorities messed up. Like your priorities are all screwed up. If look, that's like me going out for a 5-course meal and I ain't got nothing in my refrigerator. And I know if I spend this money on this 5-course meal, I ain't gonna be able to eat for the next couple of days. Like that's what this is to me. You watching this man like getting steamrolled, slapped around, pushed back. You know what? Let's go get Justin Simmons. Like, what in the hell are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like what I'm doing is, man, I'm trying to get Tyree Phillips. I'm trying to, call up David Bakhtiari or something. Like, shoot, you got anything left, old man? I'm trying to do something like that. I'm trying to make my offensive line better. I am trying to fight for my football life. This man acting like he done won three division championships instead of not making the playoffs, and everybody basically feels like, for the most part, that you're not the right guy for the head coaching job. So I don't know, man. I don't know. TJ, this is exactly why you don't get cute by drafting players from small schools in round one, because if you whiff, it sets team back and people lose jobs. You'll think our GM would learn from past mistakes. Of course not. Of course not. Not going to learn from it. Ain't going to do the same thing again next year. You tell no lies. Man, I'm kind of over it, man. I'm gonna take a few phone calls, see what you all have to say, then we'll go ahead and end the show from there, man. I'm at a loss, man. I'm serious. Like, why would you go to the podium and put that out there? Why would you go to the podium and say that you like the right guy? Might be the right guy for your team, but they definitely ain't the right guys, that should be going into a season. Look, Eric McCoy, C. Ruiz, I really, and honestly, Tallahassee Fuaga, I ain't got no issue with him. Tallahassee, I put the ones up for the big chief. I know, no disrespect to Deep Bellavia, but Tallahassee Fuaga from now on will be known as the big chief. All right, that is the big chief. So when y'all hear me say the big chief, I'm talking about Tallahassee Fuaga. So we got the big chief, we got Eric McCoy, we got Cesar Ruiz. All right, Lucas Patrick, hit and miss. Trevor Penny, swing and a miss. That's what I feel. A swing and a miss. Like strike one. Well, don't have to worry about that no more. Simmons is finalizing the contract with Atlanta as we speak. Atlanta did everything I wanted us to do. Fire head coach, draft quarterback of the future while being competitive now, and fans were still mad because they didn't draft Turner on D yet. Got a pass rush and a safety. Yeah, that's pretty sad, bro. But like I said, honestly, that's an indictment. That just goes to show you right there. This guy came to this organization and he said to himself, which organization do I feel I got a better chance of winning? That goes to show you right there. So nobody as of right now believes in this football team. So they're gonna have to do something about it. Jerry, what's going on, man?
What's going on, TJ?
Man, nothing much, man. What you got for us?
I wish I had something, but I don't even know what to say right now after the last half hour of what I heard about.
Yeah. Man, I'm a first off, look.
Help me out, TJ.
With the whole Justin Simmons situation, yeah, that situation hurt. I ain't gonna lie to you, and I think that you're gonna feel the effects of that. But Matthew Judon, like, man, I'm just telling you, like, you can tell players' beliefs in organizations by the decisions that they make. Justin Simmons came to the Saints organization. Keep in mind, he came to the Saints organization. The Saints, as of right now, have $14 million in cap space. The Atlanta Falcons have $4 billion in cap space. I guarantee you the contract that Atlanta gave him probably ain't about the same as the Saints would have gave him. But that goes to show you right there that it's about winning at the end of the day. And it's about the belief in that you can win. And right now, I don't feel like they think that. So I don't know.
TJ, I just really don't understand the picture. And I'm sure everybody in the chat know where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand. How is it every time the New Orleans Saints bring in a player to try out and hopefully sign with the team, and then another team go to another, look for that player to go to another tryout, and next thing you know, boom, they signed him and we didn't. I really don't understand that situation, TJ. I don't know.
Yes, because they don't believe in a franchise. Like it's like I'm telling people, I'm not saying this stuff to be spiteful. I know that I lose a lot of people because they think that I'm being hypercritical of the team, but I'm just letting you know, people don't believe in this team with Derek Carr as their quarterback and Dennis Allen as their coach. They just don't. Like, I guarantee you, let's just say if the shoe was on, like, let's just say, for example, if the Saints did what Atlanta did, the Falcons, they fired Arthur Smith and they hired Raheem Morris. Let's just say if the Saints fired Dennis Allen last season and hired Ben Johnson as their head coach, or Bobby Slowick as their head coach this season. And I guarantee you, I guarantee you that you'll probably see more people that were on the street offensively call their agents up and be like, man, what the Saints talking about? Like, let's not, like, we got to stop pretending like this is like a destination spot. It is not. It's not. It's not the same when, like, okay, I know Drew Brees is going to be my quarterback. I know I'm going to get the ball. I know I'm going to get the ball on time. I know I'm going to eat. It's not that way anymore. If I'm a defensive player, all I got to do is go do my job against Drew Brees, man. We can win a Super Bowl over there. Nobody believes in Derek Carr and Dennis Allen. It's just plain and simple. Like, plain and simple. Like, there's a reason why you out here getting, bottom of the barrel, cheap talent to come in to try to fill up your roster. Because ain't nobody, like, man, see that phone call, hang up the phone or no one answered. Like, ain't nobody checking for that. These people want to win. And they feel like, look, we may not like Atlanta, but people feel like Atlanta can give them a better chance to win as of right now. So I don't know. I don't know what else to say, man. What else you got for it, Jerry?
TJ, I'm just going to keep it 100. I was having a good day for the last hour or so until the news broke. I mean, it's just like a roller coaster, man. One minute you're up in the sky feeling good. Next thing you know, you go down here, he's feeling kind of worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But But I just want to say, TJ, I'm keeping it 100. I'm gonna still root for my Saints, no matter what the circumstances is. I don't care if we do good. I don't care if we do bad. I don't care if they have a winning record or losing record. I don't care. Just do me one thing, and that is this: make the playoffs, or DA, adios, and take Derek Carr with you.
Man, yeah. I think a lot of people feel the way that you do, Jerry. I really do.
Make the playoffs, or DA goes bye-bye, and take Derek Carr with him.
Yeah.
I can't with these guys, bro. I cannot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be.
And my well, add Mickey Loomis to the mix. He can go too. I don't care.
Man, I just want man, this is gonna be an interesting season. I'm just gonna be an interesting season. I don't care about free agencies and all that kind of stuff. Did I want Justin Simmons here? Yes. Did I say that I feel like he's a game changer? Yes. And will he be a game changer, in my opinion, for the Falcons? Yes. But at the end of the day, like, you got to go with what you can go with, you know, like you got to go out there and you got to play in between the lines and try to come up with these victories. But I don't know. I'm not concerned about this defense. I feel like this defense will be able to do some things, make some things happen, win some football games for this team, maybe. But this offense, like, bruh, in shambles, absolute shambles right now. Like, they ought to be ashamed of themselves, like thinking that people are just gonna be okay with what you got right here. But I digress. Jerry, thank you, man. I appreciate the phone call, bro.
And no problem, TJ. Appreciate the encouragement, right? Shouts out to the chat. Much love to you all. Hopefully things will get better after a while, because right now, just pray. Just pray, Who Dat Nation. Just pray.
Yeah. Gotta pray for the team and attrition, because I mean, telling you, if one of the blocks fall off, I mean, the whole thing coming crumbling down, if you ask me. All right, but take it easy, Jerry.
You too, TJ. Be blessed, brother.
All right, you too. Yeah, man. I mean, look, the team is extremely top heavy. Like, if you look at this starting roster, like if you was to tell me, okay, that this starting roster of the New Orleans Saints, like, okay, if they don't get hurt, like, I feel like you'll have a better chance. But I'm telling you, if somebody was to get hurt, I don't care any position. Like, it's like, for the exception of maybe the secondary. Like, if somebody of significance gets hurt, like, it's a huge drop off from the next person. And that's the problem. Like, teams usually have depth. Like, this team don't really have it. Like, so you really have to rely on these dudes to stay healthy the entire season for you to be able to make a run at anything. Hey, Dolph, how you doing, man?
Man, what's up, TJ, my brother? How you doing today, man?
I'm doing fine, man. Thank you for chiming in. What you got for us today?
Thank you for having me, man.
No problem.
Basically, man, I know right now Trevor Penning is the whooping child for all that ails the New Orleans Saints offensive line. But I'm concerned because yesterday when Dennis Allen said that he was the best answer right now, to me, that was a glaring slap in the face of those who are the backups. The Saints lack talent. I mean, look at the backups. If there's no one currently on the roster to replace Trevor Penning, that is a glaring tell against the scouting department, against this organization for failing to bring in adequate, sufficient NFL starting caliber talent to fill out this roster. Now, as I was looking at the all 22 of I just took a look at the first series, and I particularly paid attention to Trevor Penning.
Right.
And what Dennis Allen said was true. He got away from his technique. He is not technically sound. For some reason, I don't know what it is, he allows the defender to get into him and then reacts, and then he's not able to re-anchor. He's always off balance, and like if you go, TJ, and you take a look at it, like all those bad snaps he had, it's because the defender got into his shoulders and just drove him back and got him off balance. And as a head coach And as a line coach, listen. John Benton came in with a great reputation. Now you can have the best coaches in the world, but then it comes a time when it comes down to the player. And right now, Trevor Penny, he just simply ain't getting the job done. Like everybody, I wish the best for the kid, but the truth is the truth, man.
Yeah.
And with Justice Simmons going to Atlanta, like him or not, you got to like what the hell the Falcons doing, man.
Yep.
You got to like and respect what the hell they doing over there, man. Judon, Simmons, and like I felt like once Simmons went there, man, he wasn't coming here. Like I said, we didn't hear anything of him leaving, so I was like, well, if we don't hear nothing about him leaving, I'm sure we'll get some news today about him possibly signing with them. And I agree with what you said, man. Think about it. The Falcons only had $3 to $4 million in salary cap. Saints sitting here with 13, 14, and he chooses the Falcons instead of the Saints.
Pretty much. Like like it speaks for itself. Like some people like they want like something in writing. They want like people to actually say it. Well, they didn't say that. Like you don't have to say that. You don't have to say it. Like that, the Saints could have offered him more money than what the Falcons did, but he probably believed that the Falcons have a better chance of winning. Like, man, and let's just take your Homer hat off for a second. Like, just think about it. Think about what they have over there versus what we have over here. Like, not even being a hater, just completely eliminate your hatred, your vitriol for the Falcons. What they're building over there is much better than what's going on over here. We're relying on 30-something players that have been good for us and have been outliers. When you think about the National Football League, there have been outliers. Tyrann Mathieu, DeMario Davis, and Cam Jordan. When you start to reach that certain age, then all of a sudden you start slowing down. But those guys, for some apparent reason, ain't get the memo. And then you combining that with some undrafted guys, some late round guys. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Like, they're doing it the right way. I don't know if it's going to translate to winning because, I mean, I have to say this, they still a Falcon. They always find a way to screw it up. But they're doing things the right way. And what the Saints are doing right now, like, it's just a reflection of bad decisions and, whiffing on these draft picks and trying to be the smartest team in a room versus trying to be the most strategic team in a room. And now is coming home to roost.
And also, I think it comes down a case of uncertainty. With the Saints, let's say if you're Justin Simmons, if you sign with the Saints, you're signing into a situation there's no it's uncertain because there's no guarantee that this coach even comes back next year unless this team has a successful season.
Right.
And right now, and you look at Atlanta, they got a new coach that they're in love with. They bring in Kirk Cousins. They make the trade for Judon. You know that Morris he's going to have this year, next year, and then his third year. If they're not winning, then he'll probably be in the same situation that Dennis Allen is in.
Yep.
But right now, the Falcons have the better situation for Simmons. Now, with that being said, before the Saints got onto the Simmons bandwagon, it's down to Jordan Howden and Jonathan Abram, right? Somebody has to step up. Somebody has to, man.
I know, man. But I don't mean to laugh, man. But it's just like
it's facts, though.
it's definitely facts, but it just
And listen, I think Jordan Howden is a very promising young player.
I do too.
Now, with Jonathan Abram, I think he's a very intelligent player.
Right.
But to me, he struggles in pass coverage.
Right.
I think he's more of an in-box safety.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that opens the door for some of these lesser knowns because this is how I look at it, TJ. Players who are today known, at one time, many of them were not known. They got that opportunity. They got their door cracked open, and they took advantage of the opportunity that was presented to them. I love what you said about the wide receiver room.
Mm-hmm.
We know who the first two are. I personally think Cedric Wilson's making this team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, he signed a 2-year deal. So, I mean, he going to make the team.
Yeah. A.T. Perry just got to get more consistent. But some players are some players are not practice players, they're game players. And I remember what Dennis Allen saying, I ain't got to see it every day, but I got to see it. Well, A.T. Perry showed it to you. It might not be every day, but he's showing it to you.
Right.
But again, man, I think the start, and while we're on the offensive line, I'm going to let somebody else get on again. I appreciate you taking my call.
No problem, man.
Before I get out of here, let me just say this. I also watched Lewis Patrick. Our left guard is not on this team. Lewis, he's a serviceable, he's okay, but I'm telling you guys right now, look at the film. The Saints, believe me, the Saints are going to be scoring the waiver wire on cut down day, and the current offensive linemen that are on this team, I guarantee you, will not be the ones that enter the season week 1 against the Carolina Panthers. Appreciate you, my brother. Keep doing the good job you're doing, man. And I'm always going to support you, man. And who that?
I appreciate it, Dolph, man. Call back anytime, man.
Yes, sir. Later.
All right, take care. Yeah, man. I mean, that's a good point. Like what he said. I mean, you look at this team, and man, right now, you know, they doing some great value shopping, right? I mean, all of that splurging that they done did in years past. Now you don't have no choice but to go up in there, man. You know, instead of getting, you know, Chef Boyardee, you go and get Chef I don't know. Y'all know the generic version. Instead of getting Captain Crunch, you're getting Captain Rick. You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting Fruity Pebbles, you're getting Fruity Rocks. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you got a great value shop, you know, so you can't afford to like go out here and get all these different players because you exhausted yourself. Now you're trying to get yourself back to the black. So now you're like kind of coach up the middle of the pack, the American Idol contestants, you know, like, you know, the last chance U's out here, you know, that's what you break it to the team. You know, that's what you got. And, you know, I look, y'all know me, I call a spade a spade. Like right now, the Falcons look like a better football team than the Saints. Now, we've heard this before. We've seen this movie before. Don't mean nothing to me if you ask me. You know, I still feel like the Saints can actually beat them. You know, don't matter. You know, I still like I said, I mean, you could probably make an argument throughout the last 12 meetings, like the Falcons had a better team, but the Saints still just so happen to beat them 10 times. You know, like still beat them 10 out of the last 12 times. So, you know, a clock, what they say is right twice a day. You know, so I guess like if the Falcon fan keep on saying we're going to beat y'all, eventually they're going to be right one day. Maybe this is going to be the season. Maybe not. We'll finish it up with Quinn. Quinn, how you doing, man?
What's going on, brother?
Man, what's going on, man? What you got for us, man?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I think the way I've been looking at it, I feel like everything is going to be based off the QB situation.
Right.
I feel like that's what's going to set up the tempo for everybody. I feel like once we got that QB going, once we know who our QB is, I think that's when we really gonna get things going. I feel like that's the type of team we is. They go off of the energy of the quarterback or like the offense for real. Like I think everything gonna come from that. Cause to be honest, it's just like when we had Drew Brees, like we had a lot of problems, but when we had that quarterback in there, it made everything go. You get what I'm saying? It don't matter who was in the game. It don't matter who was the backup or nothing. They was gonna do their job because they had that momentum because they knowing if I do my job, he gonna do his job.
Yeah. And
I feel like that's where everything just based. I feel like that's why even what we seen from the first preseason, I feel like that's why everybody messing with Riddler right now because of the fact that they seen like he at least he trying to do something. You feel me? Like he doing something that we ain't seen in a minute. You get what I'm saying? He creating something. He ain't just sitting there they ain't coming to him. He making something happen for himself. And I feel like that's what we've been missing. I feel like we've been missing somebody that come in there and just, you know what I'm saying, take over and just do what they supposed to be doing. Just do their job and command the room. I feel like that's what type of team we is. We one of them type of people.
Man, the Saints ain't got no swag right now, Quinn. I mean, it's just that simple. They ain't got no swag. And that's what people are looking for. When you mention Desmond Ridder, the reason why people gravitate to him, you want to know why? It's because he represents what the Saints were, what made us fall in love with the Saints. The swag, the confidence. Like, it don't matter the fact that, like, he still have some growing to do. To him, he feel like he the best quarterback on the field. when you have a starting quarterback, he just wants to be the most liked quarterback on the field, right? He want everybody to like a defensive end, knock his head off. Man, that was a good hit, brother. You threw an interception. Man, you got me that time. Like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, I want my quarterback, like, we talking made fun of Brady, but I want him slamming his Microsoft tablet on the ground because he messed up. Like, I don't want
like
that.
You said though.
Yeah.
Like you said the last episode, the type of quarterback he is a dying breed. That's just what it is. Then that's why I say I feel like if Rick come in the game and it'll end up, if Carr end up, you know how he'll end up messing up or he gonna get injured like he always do. I feel like he get injured, he come in the game. I feel like they'll change everything.
Exactly. That's all they do. Like, honestly, going back to the press conference, Quinn, like the one that he did where he went 2 of 6 for 12 yards. Went up in there, started talking about, well, I didn't know all of us were going to play together. We didn't know how long. Like, always looking for sympathy, always looking for it, right? Like, you
just want some.
You get knocked out of the game. You were playing like slaw before you got knocked out of the game, but you got knocked out of the game. You come back next week. What a warrior. What a tough guy he is. Like, now you ain't talking about the fact of what he was about 6 of 15 before he left the game. You just talking about how tough he is. Like, this is a guy that tries to spin the narrative in his favor.
Right.
It's like that, and that's something I just feel like that turns Saints fans off from this dude. It's not like people want to talk about how great a person he is. I'm pretty sure he is. But when it comes down to it, it just seems like to me when he feels like he gets any level of criticism whatsoever, he tries to change that narrative to work in his favor to try to make himself a more sympathetic figure versus actually holding him accountable for what is actually going on in the field. And that's what frustrates me about Carr sometimes.
Him and the head coach got that problem.
Yeah.
Him and Dennis Allen got that problem, actually.
Man.
That's why they go together like that. That's why I feel like I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even gonna lie. Football been the way they've been playing lately, man, it's been so hard to watch football lately. Like, this is gonna be the year I determine who's gonna, if they don't, I'm telling you, if they don't get, if we have a losing season this year, and they don't get rid of these people, man, I'm gonna be done. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be done with football for a minute because they don't even make no type of sense. Because when I actually look at the roster, it's like we have a team. I feel like it's just a lack of motivation. It's like they're not confident, and that's why I feel like it's the quarterback situation. I feel like the moment they feel like they're confident in the quarterback, that's gonna make everything going. Because I had that experience before when I was on the football team, and we everybody be doing their job so much. Then once the quarterback going to come do his part, he end up giving the ball right back over. He just not doing nothing. It's just like it gets to the point where it's just feel like you're wasting your time,
right?
Giving your best effort when the quarterback not giving his best effort.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's what it's going. I feel like that's what it's going to come down to is the quarterback situation. Because at the end of the day, coach. Because at the end of the day, Dennis Allen, the head coach, he this and he that. But at the end of the day, it's about who really calling them plays and who throwing the ball when they on that field. You feel me? That's just like with the Tom Brady and the Bill Belichick. At the end of the day, Belichick did this and did that. But at the end of the day, it's about who Tom Brady did on that field. You can call all the plays, you can do all the things you say you could do, but it's about who throwing that ball and who controlling the game.
Right.
And I feel like that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to who's going to control the game and who's going to have them thinking like, okay, just because we got this third string person in the game right now, we still going to make sure he do something. Cause that's what Drew did. He made sure at the end of the day, he knowing where you at. It don't matter who you is, he know where you going to be at. So he going to give you that ball. You get what I'm saying? That's what we miss. We just need somebody to come in and demand and control the room, control the setting. That's why I feel like if, like, say the next game we got, I feel like if Redder come out there and he shows something and he do what he's supposed to do, I feel like now, okay, bet. Y'all should confirm him being the second, being number 2. Once y'all confirm him being number 2, we already know. When the season starts, something's going to happen to Derek Carr that's going to have to allow y'all to put somebody else in. I feel like the moment bro come in the game, that's going to change the whole dynamic of our season. That's how I feel. Just based off what I've been seeing from him.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the energy we missing because that's what Drew Brees brought to the team. He brought that energy.
Right. Yeah. Look, I feel like what's gonna happen with this team, like it's gonna be up to if they're gonna find success. It's gonna have to be up to like this coaching staff, like getting these guys prepared. And but I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't see anything that's different from last year that I can that I see that's different this year. Like I don't see any difference. Like even with the offense, like for example, what's changed from the offense? Like you basically just told the Who Dat Nation without telling us. The only thing that we needed to do was change coordinators and we'll be okay. Like what did they change on the offense? Like look at this. What did they change on the offense? At all? Like think about this. Like going into this season and last season, what have they changed? What like no disrespect to Mike T, but he didn't play. So you know what I'm saying? The fact is, like, you had Chris Olave, he ran out there with a Taysom Hill with his Swiss Army knife stuff, Alvin Kamara, and you know what I'm saying, a Callaway type. That's gonna be like one of like Cedric Wilson or something like that. They changed nothing. So basically all you're saying is we know that our offense is good. Our offense was really good last year. And all we needed to do is switch from P. Carmichael to Clint Kubiak. Now we're gonna have a championship team. Like when we gonna win a division? Like they didn't change anything on this offense for the most part. They got like one offensive lineman, two. I guess you can call Talese Fuaga, but they didn't get anything else. So and the biggest culprit, you know, on the offensive line is still there. I don't know, Quinn, but thank you, man. I appreciate the phone call, brother.
All right, go, brother.
All right, take it easy. Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, what has changed? Like, they're telling us without telling us. All we had to do is just change the offensive coordinators. We're gonna be straight. We'll see. Man, Mitch Drew, the best quarterback in Saints history. Falcons got that. And look, well, only thing that I would say is on paper that the Falcons look better than the New Orleans Saints. I'm just saying on paper. But, man, bruh, you would never hear me say anything about the Falcons, taking no stranglehold over no Saints, because I still feel like that organization is incompetent. You know, like they just gonna find a way to screw it up. They always do. They always do, bruh. I can't tell you how many times, like on paper, the Falcons have had a better team than the Saints. Like looking at their team, they had a better team than the Saints, and the Saints always seem to beat them. Always seem to, So I'm not really concerned about the Falcons, but I do like the way that they're actually operating. I like the way that they operating. I like how Terry Fontenot is in his bag. I like how he's out there trying to get it. He's preparing for the future, by bringing in Michael Penix, bringing in Justin Simmons, for that veteran leadership alongside Jesse Bates. You got yourself like they got probably the first or the second best offensive line in the South, and then you got the best quarterback, in my opinion, in the South, and Kirk Cousins coming up in here. So they're doing things the right way. I'm not gonna hate on them for that, but that don't mean the Saints can't beat them. That don't mean that they're gonna win this division. I don't look at it that way. I don't think they're just gonna just steamroll through the division. I think that people don't look at Tampa Bay, but I think Tampa Bay gonna put up a fight. I think the Saints gonna put up a fight. I think Carolina put up fights in games. They just couldn't score offensively. Like I remember them the last game of the season, they were playing against Tampa, and man, their defense was playing lights out. They just couldn't put the ball in the end zone. So, I ain't about to just say like, oh man, all hope is lost. Like it's the Falcons we talking about. If this was the Chiefs and they had Mahomes or something like that, I'd be like, oh no, God help us all. But the Falcons, man, I didn't seen it all when it comes to the Falcons. Let's see. I never wear a bag because that's still my team. I seen the good and bad, but we supposed to call bullshit when we see it. Well, look, I'm not wearing no bag. I'm proud to say I'm a member of the Who Dat Nation. I still gonna support this team. It's still gonna be Who Dat, until I can never say Who Dat no more. and still put who that on my grade. You know what I'm saying? Like, so here's the reality, man. Like, but you got to call a spade a spade. Like right now, you're wondering like where's this where's the success going to come from? Like, is this team going to be able to sustain and stay upright for the entire season? Like, what's going to happen if a guy goes down? That's my biggest issue. I don't question the fact of the Saints being competitive. I don't. I think they're going to be competitive in every game. I think that they're going to play tough. It would shock me if a team just blow the doors off them in any week. But bro, they're going to have to they're going to need to play some really good football, and they're going to have to trust in the football guys. The football guys are going to have to find some real good favor on them. Like, they're going to have to find some favor on these guys, bro. They're going to have to. Like, because it is, it is a huge drop, It is a huge drop off with some of this talent at the wide receiver position, on the offensive line, running back, you ask me, like, it's a huge drop off. But I'm going to give y'all a little bit of hope right here, all right? Give y'all a little bit of hope. If the Saints can become more of a running team than a passing team, then I feel like you got yourself a chance. But I look at this offensive line, and I will say this. Each one of those individuals are better run blockers than pass protectors, with the exception of Fuaga. He kind of can do a little bit of both. So I think the Saints are going to try to put an emphasis on a run. I don't feel like they showed us everything that they're going to do with Kamara. I think that you have to take a really good look at the running back position, maybe bring in someone like Kareem Hunt, bring in somebody like Leonard Fournette, like bring in somebody, a guy that can actually move the chains and also make somebody miss, a little bit. I think they may need to change up this running back room. Jordan Mims and James Robinson ain't going to cut it. Like, they're just not, right? I was hearing all this stuff about Jordan Mims and how he look in pass protection and all that kind of stuff there. That's great. But when I seen in the game, I just seen a jag, just another guy out there. Nothing was special about him. So this is the thing I'm talking about right here. Like I understand. Like, I'm not criticizing anybody that is writing about these dudes and stuff like that, because you're only going by what you see these dudes doing in practice. But it's a different beast when you're going out there on the field and going up against the opposition versus what you're doing in practice. And then, you start to develop a rapport, like you see the guys on the sidelines, you see their personality. Like, man, he's a fun-loving guy right there, but hey, all I'm saying is, man, if we're going to try to do something, man, you got to be able to establish this run to set up that play action. But I do think that they got some plays set up for Shaheed. I think they got some plays set up for Olave. But, they're going to have to establish the run, man. They're going to have to be like like the Saints. I know y'all may not want to hear this, but I just think that the days of them scoring 30 some odd points a game are over. Like, I know we thought, oh man, look, Clint Kubiak coming in. Like, offense is back. Yeah, it might be back, but I don't think it's going to be back the way we think that it is. Falcons are already a better running and passing team, though, LOL, and just added nice pieces on D. Yep. You already got Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. Like, both of these guys are like really, really good. You got Drake London, Kyle Pitts out there, Darnell Mooney. And they got, like I said, a really good offensive line. You got Matthew Bergeron out there. Look, I'm telling y'all may not want to hear it. But I'm just letting y'all know that's a good football team over there. It's a good football team over there. Saints gonna have to work their behind off, and plus they motivated too, because the last time the Saints, played them, they blew the doors off them. I'm telling y'all, man, they're gonna have to play. But I'm not just concerned about no Falcons. I'm concerned about this entire division. I'm concerned about the Saints winning more games than losing. I just hope they get off to a good start. If they get off to a bad start, I'm telling y'all, it's gonna get bad, because people already have their reservations about the Saints going into the season. People already feel like Derek Carr isn't the answer at quarterback. Dennis Allen isn't the answer as the coach. If they get off to a rough start in 2024, it's going to get bad. It's going to get bad, man. I'm telling you. You combine them losing with the fan base energy and wanting change, it's gonna get rough. So I hope that they come out the gates. If they because no disrespect to Carolina, I know teams get better every year, and I'm not just gonna say, oh man, they're just gonna be a footnote. But nobody expects Carolina to do anything this season. Nobody expects Carolina to win many games, right? I think they're gonna be better than a lot of people give them credit for. But if the Saints lose to Carolina in New Orleans, when this team is supposed to be struggling, I'm telling you, like the bottom is gonna drop. It's just gonna drop out because that game right there, like looking at the schedule, people like, hey man, the Saints got the easiest schedule. Like, miss me with that. All right, you playing the AFC West. If the Saints come out and play against a team that a lot of people just feel aren't that good, but you're going up against the following week against the Dallas Cowboys, a team that won their division and won double-digit games, like 3 straight years in a row, I'm telling you right now, people are going to be very, very upset, and you combine that energy, and those guys are human. Like, you start hearing that kind of stuff, you start questioning, like, man, do we got the right guy? Do we have the right quarterback? Do we have the right players? I'm telling you right now. You can tell people like intense. You can tell about like some of the press conferences with some of the guys. They talking about accountability and all that kind of stuff. There's like somebody done had a conversation with him. I mean, Cam Jordan, he motivated. Like you can tell, like he motivated. Like he basically like, man, look, get with it or get lost. Like right now, you know what I'm saying? Like tension is high. These dudes want to win. And if they don't come out the gates and you have Derek Carr out there dinking and dunking them around and you overthrowing Chris Olave and you got the running game ain't on track, you know, like Alvin Kamara still getting stopped in the backfield because, you know, the defensive line that had penetration came on through. It's going to be rough, man. So I'm hoping that this team gets off to a good start. I'm hoping that they do something that they probably wouldn't be used to doing, like scoring on opening drive or something. You know, like they got to do something. They got to, bro, I'm telling you, if they go to the Superdome week 1 and lose to the Carolina Panthers, like it's going to be bad, man. It's going to be bad. Because like I said, people already feel going into this season, they already don't know what to think about this team. Frustrated with the team. Y'all see no cap. He been lobbying for these boys to go since last year, you know? But he ain't the only person. He ain't the only person that feels like that. You know? I'm never gonna give up on this football team. I don't care what the record is. I told y'all, my love for this football team is not about records. It's about the moments I was sitting on my grandmother's living room floor watching this team. This team used to stink while I was doing that. So this ain't a deal breaker for me. Like right now, we trying to figure out where the wins can come from. Back in the days, I knew we probably weren't gonna win at all, right? No need to look for the wins. Don't need to be looking underneath nothing because ain't no win gonna be there. So I've been rocking with this team for a long time. So that's not a deal breaker for me. And it shouldn't be a deal breaker for you either, man. You know, teams go through tough times. And honestly, we don't know what this season is going to be like. We don't know what this season is going to unfold into. The Saints might end up being much better than we think. The Saints might end up winning the division. We don't know. Like, we don't know. But I just think that when you start looking at what other teams are doing and, you know, you think about like, oh, man, we could have got that. We ain't got that. That's when you start getting yourself all worked up. And then the next thing you know what? You know, man, my team suck. Man, we ain't never going to win nothing, man. It's all over for us. But it will be all over if you don't fix that offensive line. Goes back to what we were saying. You don't fix that offensive line, it ain't happening. Says, you dreaming, TJ. I ain't saying I'm dreaming. I said, look, how am I dreaming? I said they may. I ain't say they are. I said they may be. You know, much better than what we say. They may be. Like, you don't know, man. I mean, teams have these expectations to stink all the time. Like, for example, everybody thought Tampa was going to stink. Tom Brady gone. He ain't coming back. Oh, it's over for y'all. Baker Mayfield, and laughing and stuff, right? Baker brought them boys to the playoff. Baker won the division for him. So you don't know how a season is going to unfold. So to say that, okay, just because this happened, and the Falcons did this and the Saints don't have this, and Tampa, they added this, and like, what that mean, man? Well, that don't mean anything. These teams create their teams to be able to combat and go up against their division foes. So all these teams are structured basically the same way. Guess what, folks? We talk about, man, Clint Kubiak bring him in the wide zone. He bringing the wide zone. He bringing a different offense to the NFC South. Guess what? Guess who else going to be running the wide zone? Carolina going to be running the wide zone. Atlanta going to be running the wide zone. And I'm pretty sure that Tampa in some ways going to be running a little bit of that wide zone. So all these teams are going to be doing that, right? Because you got Zach Robinson came over from the Rams. Clint Kubiak came over for the 49ers. And then you have Dave Canales, who came over from, Seattle. So everybody going to be running it. So the thing, oh, man, we got this new bag, bro. Like, we own, like, bro, everybody running that. The wide zone is the new wave in the NFL. It's the Wildcat, right? Y'all remember when Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams were running a Wildcat out there in Miami? Welcome to 2024, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2024, Who That Nation. But I ain't discouraged. It's still forget the Falcons if you ask me. It's still sweeping the Falcons to me. It's still sweeping the Panthers to me. It's still sweeping them Bucks to me, all right? That's the way I feel about it. I don't care. We still got enough to beat the Falcons. We still got enough. And honestly, to be, it just makes it even more better. Like, there's nothing, like, honestly, there's nothing greater in my entire opinion, my humble opinion. There's nothing greater than watching the Falcon fans be excited about their team and watch the Saints just destroy it. Like, it's just something about it, man. Like, when the Saints played the Falcons week 1 and the Falcons were up by 18 in the fourth quarter, and them Falcon fans was like just berating, like just saying all type of stuff to you, boy. It's over. And I simply said very humbly, I said, this game ain't over. You know what them boys say? Yeah, right, man, it's over. Then all of a sudden, that block field goal when it was all said and done by none other than Peyton Turner blocked that field goal. And you should have seen the dejection on the face of the Falcon fans up in that thing. Boy, and I'm telling you, there is nothing greater, in my opinion, to see a Falcon fan wide-eyed and bushy-tailed about their football team, only for them to fall in a crescendo to the New Orleans Saints. Man, I'm telling y'all right now. So let them talk. Let them hype it up, bro. Let them get all excited. Let them talk about what they got. Let them talk about what y'all gonna do when such and such do this. What y'all gonna do when Kirk Cousins do this? What you gonna do when Bijan do this? Like, let them talk. Let them talk. And then when the Saints win that field goal by 3, when the Saints pick up that pass by Kirk Cousins, when the Saints sack Kirk Cousins, and I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be sweet, man. Let them talk. I've seen this movie, man. I've seen this movie. I feel the same way about y'all, TJ. I love to see the Aints lose, rise up. Exactly. And I expect for you to feel that way, Red Swarm. And I appreciate you for being here, man. Thank you for that. Look, there's no love lost here, man. There's respect, of course, you know what I'm saying, because of, and the players and stuff like that and what they trying to do. But ain't nothing better than seeing them boys lose. Man, ain't nothing better than seeing them boys lose, man. Seriously. But anyway, man, don't be discouraged. We got to figure out this offensive line situation, man. They got some guys out there maybe they can take a look at, but they got to look at this thing really, really seriously. I want the Saints to go into the game versus the 49ers and really evaluate this offensive line. Give these guys more snaps, right? Give these guys more opportunities. Get them more reps to be out there, right? And let's see where we can go from there, all right? But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Once again, my name is Timothy J. Jones. This show is powered by BetUS. You can look at the description. The link is in the description. You can save up to 125% on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,000. Thank you to the fine folks at BetUS. I really do appreciate that. Shouts out to everybody in the chat right now. I asked that you hit the like button. We had 214 people. We got as close as nearly 300 people watching this at one time. I just hope everybody just hit the like button. Just help the show to grow. All right. I don't ask for much. If you come on the show, you watch the show, just hit the like button. Just take a few seconds to hit that like button so we can help the show grow. And like I said, I'm appreciative to all of the new viewers and listeners of the podcast over the last couple of weeks, man. Shouts out to all the people that have given kind words. Man, we work pretty hard on this show, man. We try to do what we can to give good content, give a real perspective about the team. I'm glad to be able to cover this football team, to talk to you all about this football team. And I'm also letting you all know later on tonight, I will be going live on Gumbo Pod Sports Podcast. Got to talk a little bit about Justin Simmons, Matthew Judon, but we also have to talk about J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings, being done for the season, man, after a really good performance in his preseason debut. And also, we're going to be talking about a few more topics pertaining to the world of sports. So if you go to youtube.com, search Gumbo Pod Sports Podcast, I really appreciate that. And thank you all so much, those that are in the chat. Shouts out to everybody at home. Shouts out to everybody that's going to be listening to this later, the After Show boys, After Show girls. Till next time, all I got to say is the Falcons suck. And who they?
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. There's all dog around this mug. I'm good.